June 27, 1991. A prototype light armored vehicle cruises at 60 miles per hour on a desert highway in Arizona. It weighs approximately 28,100 pounds and is built to outmaneuver a Humvee and survive a rocket hit. This is the story of the LAV-25, the vehicle that would become the backbone of the U.S. Marine Corps and the Canadian Army. Today, we're covering everything about the LAV-25, from how it started to why it still matters. And wait until you hear what happened during its first real test, in the heat of Operation Desert Storm. By the late 1980s, the U.S. Marine Corps needed a vehicle that could carry infantry through hostile terrain while withstanding enemy fire. The Humvee was fast but vulnerable. The solution had to be something more, something armored and mobile. In 1986, the U.S. Marine Corps issued a request for proposals. General Dynamics Land Systems, based in Canada, was the first to respond. Their design, the LAV-25, was based on the Canadian LAV-3, modified to meet U.S. requirements. The project was fast-tracked. In just 24 months, from 1987 to 1989, the LAV-25 went from concept to production. That's faster than most modern fighter jets. It was a gamble, but one the Marine Corps was willing to take. The LAV-25 was designed to carry a crew of 3 and 4 infantrymen. It had a 25mm cannon and a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun. It was meant to be the first line of defense in a rapidly shifting battlefield. But turning this idea into reality would prove far harder than anyone imagined. The LAV-25 had to be lightweight enough to be air-transported, yet strong enough to survive a RPG hit. It had to be fast, yet stable. The balance was tight. The LAV-25 was powered by a Detroit diesel 6V53T engine, giving it a top speed of approximately 62 miles per hour on roads. It had a combat range of approximately 410 miles. It was the fastest armored vehicle in its class. The vehicle's armor could withstand 7.62mm rounds and artillery fragments, with additional armor kits providing protection against 14.5mm rounds. It was designed to be amphibious, with a watertight hull and a bow ramp for entry and exit in water. The 25mm cannon, the M242 Bushmaster, was a key innovation. It could fire armor-piercing rounds capable of penetrating approximately 200mm of rolled homogeneous steel. It was the first time such a weapon was integrated into a light armored vehicle. Testing was brutal. In 1989, a prototype was subjected to a live-fire test at the Yuma Proving Ground. It withstood multiple RPG hits and a 25mm cannon strike. The results were promising, but not without flaws. The LAV-25 was also tested in extreme cold and desert conditions. In 1990, it passed all U.S. Marine Corps requirements. After years of development, it was finally time to prove itself. The LAV-25 made its combat debut during Operation Desert Storm in January 1991. The 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines deployed the vehicle in the southern Iraq theater. It was the first real test of the new design. The LAV-25 proved its worth. It could keep up with the fast-moving Marine advance and withstand enemy fire. It was the first time U.S. Marines had a vehicle that could carry them into battle with both speed and protection. The LAV-25 was also adopted by the Canadian Army, but not in 1987. The U.S. Marine Corps adopted it earlier. Over 1,500 units were built for the U.S. Marine Corps and the Canadian Army, a testament to its effectiveness. The LAV-25 replaced the aging M242 armored personnel carrier. It was faster, more protected, and more lethal. It became the standard for modern infantry mobility. But the real test was yet to come. The LAV-25 would soon face the chaos of urban warfare, and the enemy would adapt to counter it. During the Second Gulf War in 2003, the LAV-25 saw intense action in cities like Baghdad and Fallujah. It was used for reconnaissance, fire support, and troop transport. On April 12, 2003, a LAV-25 from the 1st Battalion, 5th Marines was hit by an RPG in Fallujah. The vehicle sustained damage but continued to fight. The crew was unharmed, a testament to the LAV-25's armor. The LAV-25's 25mm cannon proved effective against enemy positions and light vehicles. It could engage targets at a distance of over 2,000 meters, a range that outclassed most enemy small arms. However, the vehicle had its limits. It was not designed to withstand heavy tank fire. In 2004, during the Battle of Fallujah, a LAV-25 was destroyed by a T-55 tank. The crew was killed, a rare but sobering reminder of the LAV-25's limitations. The enemy adapted. Improvised explosive devices and anti-vehicle mines became a major threat. The LAV-25 was not designed to withstand such attacks, and several were lost to IEDs in Iraq and Afghanistan. So what's the lasting impact of the LAV-25? It redefined the role of light armored vehicles in modern warfare. It proved that speed and protection could coexist, and that mobility was just as important as firepower. The LAV-25 influenced the design of the Stryker and the Bradley fighting vehicle. It set the standard for modern infantry mobility and fire support. It remains in service with the U.S. Marine Corps and the Canadian Army. Today, the LAV-25 is being upgraded with new armor, targeting systems, and communication equipment. It is expected to remain in service through the 2030s, a testament to its enduring design. The LAV-25 is more than just a vehicle. It is a symbol of the evolution of modern infantry warfare, where speed, protection, and firepower must all be balanced. The LAV-25 redefined how armies move and fight. It proved that a light armored vehicle could be fast, protected, and lethal, and it changed the course of modern warfare. Which military subject should we deep dive next? Comment below and subscribe for more.